My name is Isabel. I'm 61 years old. I live alone in a small cottage by the coast of Valenca, Portugal. This house once belonged to my parents. I was born here. I married here. And I raised my only son here. The walls still hold echoes of laughter from long ago. But now, the silence feels louder. My husband, Matteo, passed away 9 years ago. Since then, the rooms have felt bigger, emptier. I spend my days cleaning, reading old letters, watering the flowers he once planted. I try not to cry when I touch his books, or when I see his empty chair. My son, Lucas, lives in Australia now. He left for university when he was 20, and he never truly came back. He studied engineering, found work, met a woman named Anna, and built a life far away. He has 2 daughters I've only seen in photographs. At first, he wrote emails. He called. He even sent postcards from Sydney. But then, the calls grew shorter, less frequent. The emails stopped. His voice faded, like music drifting down a long street. Still, I waited. Every morning, I checked my phone. I reread his old messages, pretending they were new. I kept his childhood drawings in a folder under my bed. And every night, I prayed for him, even if he had forgotten me. One afternoon, something changed. I heard a knock on my door. No one knocked anymore. When I opened it, my heart leapt. It was Lucas. He stood there, suitcase beside him. He looked tired, thinner than before, dark circles under his eyes. But when I saw him, all I felt was joy. Without thinking, I pulled him into a hug. After so many years, my son had come home. I made tea, brought out almond biscuits I had saved for special days. He sat at the kitchen table, staring at the familiar walls. He said everything looked the same. I told him nothing had changed except the quiet. Except me. At first, we hardly spoke. There were too many words buried between us. But when he finally opened up, I listened. He said he missed me. That life had been too busy. Work, family, the pressure to succeed. I didn't want to blame him. But his absence had carved cracks into my heart. Then, he said something I never expected. "Come with me to Australia, Mama." He said I shouldn't live alone anymore. That his daughters wanted to meet their grandmother. That I could have my own room, my own life, surrounded by family. I didn't know what to say. I looked around at my house. Every chair, every cup, every photo on the wall held memories. Could I really leave it all behind? But Lucas was my only son. And I had dreamed of being close to him again. That night, I lay awake, remembering. The day Matteo and I carried him home from the hospital. The sound of his little feet running across the same floor. His laughter when he was small. So much love had lived here. Could I walk away from it? The next morning, Lucas looked serious. He said the house was too old, too far from help. That it was time to sell it and move forward. He promised to handle everything. He said the money would help us start fresh in Australia. I hesitated. But I trusted him. He was my son. We sold the house. The money was transferred into his account. To manage the flight, to manage the move. It all happened so fast. One moment I was here. The next, I was closing the door for the last time. I kissed the wall, whispered goodbye to Matteo, and walked away. At the airport, I felt nervous. Lucas carried my suitcase. He told me to wait while he arranged a wheelchair. 5 minutes, he said. I'll be right back. I believed him. Because I wanted to. I waited. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. I looked at every man who walked by, hoping it was him. But it wasn't. After 30 minutes, I asked at the counter. They said no one had requested a wheelchair. I sat down again. Waited longer. 40 minutes. 50. My hands turned cold. My heart, colder. An officer in uniform approached me gently. He asked if I was waiting for someone. I told him everything. He asked for my son's name. I showed him the ticket. A photo. He checked. When he returned, he sat beside me. His eyes kind. His voice soft. Senora, your son has already boarded. Alone. I couldn't speak. Couldn't cry. I clutched Matteo's old scarf to my chest. My son had left me behind. I had sold my home. Given him everything. Trusted him. Because he was my child. But now I had nothing. No house. No money. No family. The airport felt enormous. Noisy. And I was invisible. The officer stayed with me. When he asked if I had someone to call, I shook my head. No. There was no one. He paused, then said quietly, "Come with me. You can't stay here. Let me take you somewhere safe." His name was Andres. He brought me to his home, where his wife, Lucia, welcomed me. She wrapped me in a blanket, gave me real tea. And for the first time that day, my hands stopped shaking. That night, I slept in their guest room. Andres and Lucia gave me kindness my own son could not. Days passed. Andres brought me small gifts, fruit, a puzzle book, a scarf with flowers. Lucia baked bread and included me in her quiet routines. Then, one evening, Andres returned looking pale. In the kitchen, I heard the words he tried to hide from me. Lucas's flight had crashed. No survivors. My chest hollowed. He had betrayed me. Abandoned me. But he was still my son. And now, he was gone. I cried that night. Not just for the betrayal, but for the little boy I once held in my arms. But through the grief, I realized something. I wasn't alone anymore. Andres and Lucia had given me what I had lost. Not blood family, but love, dignity, and a home where I was wanted. Not everything that breaks us destroys us. Sometimes, it breaks us open, so light can find its way in. If you liked this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.